existential, poetic film. I love the cinematography, how it bounces back and forth between cityscapes and escalators and towers and wreckers, and then still beautiful vistas in nature. And it definitely seems as if the city is overtaking nature to some extent, where there's a bulldozer coming through a gorgeous forest. But by the end, the rusty stream becomes clean, so it seems to be optimistic by the end. I really like this film, very thought-provoking.
Even though Life is a Two-Way Dream was visually stunning and beautifully shot, what I'd like to touch upon today is the sound. For example, the heartbeat associated with the natural shadows surrounding the cemetery and the natural perspective was just, it was very, it helped put the audience in the director's seat, in the director's chair, I think. And really, that was the most convenient way for them for the audience and filmmaker to share that vision that nature is a lot more bucolic and pleasant than the cityscape, than the man-made structure and manufactured societies. The intermittent perspectives really bring to light of that. I also appreciated the reverse cinematography. There were a lot of clever tricks that were done to make the whole picture look very transcendental and dreamlike.
Spiritual and mythical. It has very sparse voiceover in it. It's only occasional. And it doesn't give this kind of overbearing context or over-explain or anything. It kind of just builds on top of the theme that's infused into the title itself, which is life being a dream, kind of going off the nursery rhyme. And we see a lot of flowing rivers that kind of transcend into possible symbolisms of pollution. We see dirty streams as well. We see garbage at certain points. So there might be a statement about how we care for the earth itself. What is our dream for the earth? Because the earth is life at the end of the day, essentially. So it has a lot to think on and doesn't try to push anything on you, too overtly, which is nice. It's very respectful of its audience.
I thought this was beautiful. I thought that most, if not all, of the shots that they were using and getting were gorgeous and in the beautiful settings, whether that was in a city or looking at architecture or looking at nature, or they were able to grab and capture a lot of different things from a lot of different places, and it was edited together really well. I also really liked that the music that they paired with it was kind of just this side of ominous. I thought that went really nicely, because from what I watching it, what I took from it was there are all of these places that are beautiful and on their own, and then there's also a pairing image or a pairing video clip that was trucks destroying or driving through the forest, or billboards and those LED screens and things like that. There was also there's the Colosseum, but then you see a plane flying by. There's all of these different things that are beautiful and spectacular and should be looked at and should be all of these things. And then there was an element of society and humanity and what people can do to those beautiful structures and nature and things like that.
Excellent juxtaposition between the natural and the man-made technological worlds and the excess of that. The images, one after the other, of a glowing sunset versus Times Square, ancient architecture versus a futuristic city landscapes, and those little glowing orbs almost as signals from our ancestral past or from star stuff that once created our universe, and how we're almost just trying to replicate that with our own lights and our Times Square billboards and our car lights. And just really interesting ideas about the drive of human nature and the messages to our past self and what prevails.
This was a really beautiful and thought-provoking film to watch. Just seeing the juxtaposition of nature and forests and all the beauty that the world has versus what we as humans have built upon that. Interestingly, we don't see any humans in this. But, watching, the back and forth and seeing these two types of images contrasted with each other, it was really easy to see them as two separate entities and two separate things. So this is our capitalistic society, and then this is nature and its purity. But there was a shot of the tank rolling through the forest that just really brought it all together for me. And I was like, oh yeah, all of these concrete jungles that we've built were once nature that we bulldozed. And yeah, it was kind of just this light bulb moment for me. So we have this calm tranquility of nature that we've interrupted with our greed. So yeah, it was, like I said, very thought-provoking. The final scene of the water or the river running red was uncomfortable in a good way. And I think it was the perfect scene to end the film on, like leave it on a really strong note. Yeah, lots of things to consider in this, and great job to everybody involved.